think the first time that I thought about surfing was watching my dad. We'd be out for about an hour or so, and he'd probably only get maybe 2 or 3 waves, but he'd always come out with the biggest smile on his face, and then he'd always ask me if I saw the wave. I think just seeing his smile like at the end of the surf kind of made me think that's what I want to do. When I got strong enough to get in the sea, my dad put me onto his longboard and pretty much just let me sit in the shallows for quite a long time during the day in the summer. I'd pretty much just let the waves push me back onto the sand again, and I could spend hours doing it. I kind of wish it was that fun just sitting in the shallows now. When I was about 5, my cousin lent me a board, and it was the first board that I started surfing on. I can't actually remember how old I was when I first stood up, but I do remember my mate was there from school. He was doing exactly the same as me. We basically spent the whole session getting these tiny little waves, trying to kind of push each other to get more and more. From then on, we kind of became really good mates. I think we were about 9 years old, and we went to the King of the Groms in Hossegor. We both did pretty well. I managed to make it to the final and got 3rd place. I think that was pretty much the best day of my life when I went up onto the podium. About 2 weeks later, we got home, and my dad got a phone call in the morning. He called me in. He told me kind of what had happened. Quicksilver were on the phone, and they were offering some sponsorship. They helped me out a lot and supplied me with clothing, took me on trips, and pretty much set me up for my surfing during my teenage life. After doing a lot of competing during my teen years, I started to kind of think what was more important, whether to stay and do my A-levels or have a go at pursuing a career in surfing. I realised that the more I pursued the career, the more I realised how much pressure there was. But I kept competing and got a couple of pretty good results in England, but nothing enough to make me think that I'm going to make it professionally. When I was 18, I got a phone call from Quicksilver, and they basically explained that because I hadn't been competing enough, because I was doing my A-levels and I wasn't committing enough to trying to make it as a professional, they dropped me from the team. I decided to take 2 or 3 years out and basically do as much travelling as I could, surf the best waves I could, and kind of make up for that time that I was stuck in school. So now I'm my 2nd year at uni. I try and just kind of do my own thing when I'm down here, and luckily I've got my van and got a few people that I tend to call up and go for a surf with. Usually when I surf here though, it's very last minute and kind of spare of the moment. When I get a quick hour or 2 here and there, I'll kind of put my BUCS down and jump in the van and go and get a quick wave wherever I can. Last week, I got the call up from the Jersey team manager to see if I wanted to represent Jersey at the ISA World Surf Games in Biarritz, and straight away I said yes. even just to surf against the standard of people that are going to be there will be a pretty exciting thing in itself. And to do well and represent Jersey at something like that is always an opportunity you can't really say no to. I think I'm always going to surf. I don't think there's anything cooler than seeing an old guy paddling out and still dominating. That's where I want to be when I'm their age.